Okay, how am I gonna do this? So I know the offset. Let's just make the master grid first, right? Um, we know how many there's gonna be. There's gonna be 512. Do I guess no, I guess I do actually put 512 just because it starts at 0. It's still 512. Okay, so yeah, I don't want this return value thing. We're not doing we're not doing it like Brewer does it. We're doing, what even is this? I mean, well, it will spit out the array, but I just kind of want to create the array. So let's with I mean, it would be nice. It would be nice if it was a function like the same as the MP grid create. Something like that. Right. And then, oh, I see. That's why return is useful there. Yeah. So we create our 512. But we want this to be a two-dimensional array. Oh, that's right. Now I get it. Right. Wait. How do you make a two-dimensional array? I'm still too unfamiliar with multi-dimensional arrays. That's the problem here. Arrays. Multi-dimensional arrays. I think I'm confused because you know, what are we actually doing here? Do I actually want to store the nodes inside of here? Or are we just kind of storing the coordinates? Because that's a big difference. I'm just going to do coordinates to begin with. Because that's just something I can do, I think. Return val I. Yeah. So, but... Well, that's a hell of a lot easier, isn't it? Is it? Why do I find arrays so confusing? I still got to loop through the whole thing to set the coordinates. But we need an extra dimension to it. So this is looping through and setting this to this. Oh, so what would I just have like a... So it's got to be a double loop, kind of like that. Oh, and I guess that's what this is doing. Oh yeah, so it's one of these that I need, right? And we've made the array the correct length. So we could just put the array length in here. Although we know it's 512, so that's faster to just put 512, isn't it? Yeah, I fucked up and I forgot to put the food in the oven before I took a shower, so I'm now starving to death. Not to be dramatic about it or anything, but I'm on the verge of starvation. Well, that's the number of cells. But we've got to go through them like 16 and 16, right? Like that. 16 times 16 is 512. And then return val ij. So we're adding to this array that we created. And then I need to do, we're calling it x and y, which is smart, I suppose. Although it might be safer to call it something like that, maybe. No, I don't know if it likes that. I'm not quite sure. Why we do it that way, but okay, I'm going to run with it for now, I think. And this is confusing the hell out of me. So I just got to think about it. So we're starting at 0, 0. Each time we increment one of these, we're going to go up by 16 times cell width for X. So this would be something like I. What? Yeah, no, maybe put that at the end. 16 times cell width times I. Right. Because then 16 times 0 is 0. 16 times 1 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32, so on and so forth. But we're multiplying it by the cell width to get the exact number of pixels. We're getting like room coordinates. And then the Y position. Cell height multiplied by J. I'll put the extra comma there, I don't know. Feel better about it. So this is giving us the coordinates. It's giving coordinates for all of the cells on the major grid, the nav grid. And it just returns this array. Okay. How does this help me? I mean, it's useful to have the coordinates. That's for sure. So now if I was to go back here to global, if I made my global grid now using sc navgrid create, then this would now contain an array with all of the coordinates of the top left corner of each cell of the nav grid. Perhaps it would be a good idea to like draw this somehow, visualize it. It's a starting point, right? We're probably going to want to be able to see it. How would I draw it? It's going to be super slow, of course. But just for testing purposes. I'm not really sure, actually. It's really easy to draw like half of it. But drawing like a full grid? Not really sure. I mean, yeah, that's a kind of a weird way of doing it, but you could do that. Okay. Okay. Let's go into GUI, draw. This is where we would draw the grid previously, but now I'm going to have to do a bunch of crazy stuff with some more for loops. Let me copy the for loops from here. Oh. So, hello? Put these in here, and then, okay, and then, okay, this is where my lack of understanding of two-dimensional arrays kicks in again. Do I only need one for loop, actually? Probably not. Because I've got to loop through both dimensions, I guess. So, okay. So it would be like 0, 0, 0, 1, blah, 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 1, 1, blah, 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 1, 2. No, 2, 2, 1. You know what I'm saying. So in here, this is where we've got to do like, wait, what is going on with this? What is this? Oh, right, yeah, I'm not used to seeing extra brackets like that. Okay, global.grid. Maybe I should call it navgrid now, because I've started calling it the navgrid. Why is it freaking out? Oh, right, it's just because I haven't finished this. No. What am I doing? How do I look at an array? Some sort of a array. Array find function offset length. What? Array get index. How do you get something from a multi-dimensional array? Array value. Array get my array. Okay, like that. Is that how you do it? It's 2D array. My array. 0. Variable index. Oh, really? Oh. That kind of makes sense, I guess. So we would do array get global.navgrid 0 no I j. Right? And then it would be something like, obviously I don't want to set the x and y of this object. So make something like that. Right, and this array stores the coordinates of the top left corner. So to draw, I need to do some extra stuff like so now I'm drawing. That's definitely not what I want to do. I want to do that, right? I'm drawing a line across the top now. Then I guess I'll go down next. I'll go down from this X position to this Y position. I should be going, here's our starting position, we go across X, and now we're at this position, going down to this position, and then we want to go back across. So at this Y position, going back to the original Y position. Nope, that's not right. We are both of the Y positions need to be modified like that. And we need to go back to the original X position. Am I doing this right? Starting from X, going to here. This one is incorrect, isn't it? I think is that supposed to be like that? The X position is supposed to remain the same in this one because we're going down in a straight line. So I'm going from here, I'm going to here, and then I'm going from here to here, and then I'm going to go from here, which is both X and Y modified originally, to X unmodified, Y modified, and then I'm going back up. I'm going from Y modified back to, so X is unmodified, Y is modified, back to unmodified X, unmodified Y, back to the starting position. So we're drawing a rectangle. Okay, and we're doing that for everything in the array because we're going to loop through. So this might have some weird result if I'm maybe doing it wrong. I don't know. Because I'm I mean, I've got to loop through them, but I have no idea. Let's just see what it does. This could have some very interesting results, or it could be perfect. I don't know. Oh, shit. I tried to save, but apparently we save and load the grid. I did not think of that. Saving line 39. Why is it? Yeah, because we just save and load the navigation grid. Of course. Here we go. Save and load the tile map and the navigation grid. Let's just not save the navigation grid. I mean, the MP grid. And let's also not load that. And also, let's not do this. I don't know if I ever actually destroy that array. That could be a memory leak, to be honest with you. Okay, let's just make sure we're not creating it in the first place, then. Oh. Okay, well, that's clearing it. Whereabouts do I create? Grid 0 must be in this object. No? I thought because it was local, maybe it's in this object. There it is. Man, it's kind of amazing that any of this even works. What the hell is grid 1? Is that used for anything anywhere? No, I'm just creating an array for no reason at all. Great. That's what you like to see. Alright, well I should be able to save and load now without it crashing. Hopefully. I knew there would be arrays somewhere that I'm not cleaning up. That's probably the memory leak. It's not a massive one. But, you know, if you were to play long enough and save and load enough times, it would cause issues. Hey, I can actually save the game now. So if I hit F3, oh shit. What? Hold on a second, what? It said there was an error at line 1? The description? Excuse me? What? How can there be an error at line 1? Malformed variable. There is no variable. Well, it's got to be something to do with this. I'm assuming if I disable that, it's going to be fine. Yeah, doesn't do anything, of course, but the game doesn't crash. What doesn't it like about this? Oh shit. Well, my food is just about ready. This just looks like a pretty standard for loop to me. What doesn't it like about this? Maybe something to do with this line? I don't know, that's one for after the break, I suppose. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit and try and fix this. Peace out. Okay, let's figure out what's going on with this. It's almost certainly going to be this one, isn't it? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What? Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's how it looks in the example code. My array 0, index 0. Array get my, yeah, what is wrong with it? Well, maybe this is not right to begin with. Possibly. Okay, there is an array in there. Apparently. Put a watch on that. Okay, we have an array with 512 entries. Most of which apparently have a value of 0, which is somewhat concerning. Okay, so, haha, right. So it doesn't need to be 512. It needs to be like 16. Let me just see that one more time now. This is actually helping me learn about two-dimensional arrays. Here we go. So it's an array. That's perfect. It's an array with 16 entries, and each one of those is an array with 16 entries. Perfect. Does that solve our problem, though? No, it does not. The fuck is wrong with this shit? Malformed variable. I mean, I'm just getting whatever's in the array and assigning it to this variable. What do you want from me? Try to reference a... You've tried to reference a variable in the wrong way. Malformed variable reference. This is just a malformed variable. So instead of using array get, I think what I can actually do is just global.navgrid I j. I think I can do it that way. I don't know why array get isn't working. Nope, same problem. Okay. Let's just try printing that to the console and see what it actually is. Oh, it's quite possible that, you know how it's like adding... What the fuck is that? I don't know how to handle that. Right, okay. That kind of explains it, doesn't it? So instead, I could just do like... do this. No. Do this. What is that going to give me? Oh, what? Zero. That's what we would expect, right? Yeah, the first one would be 0, 0. Okay, so now just put this back to how it was. Oh, hey, there's a box there. Several of them stacked up. Huh. Interesting. Oh, there's some more of them. What the hell is going on? Whoa. What is that all about? Okay, that's kind of strange. What is going on? So I don't think the problem's in here. I'm assuming the problem is in the nav grid create. Should I just print all of these to the console? See what they actually are. the fuck is this? Okay, the right numbers are in there somewhere. Why do we have all these extra zeros? Presumably because I'm adding it repeatedly. What? Wait, what am I doing? I keep setting this. Why is it still 0 in the second one? Isn't it going to go up to 1 at some point? 256, 256. Yeah, why is it not staying the same? One of the values should be staying the same, right? What the hell is going on? Why are arrays so confusing? Well, I have to assume that this needs to be outside of there in this for loop, right? Let's try that. Well, it's different. It's definitely different. What's going on now? 0, 0, 0, 2, 5, 6. What is happening, dude? Am I not supposed to just be getting like one number? So it's kind of like this is being added to I, right? Sorry, this is being added to I each time, but I just want to add it to J. Why is the documentation so useless? It doesn't really make sense. The fuck is this, dude? It's like returns the whole array. Why don't I understand this? Why doesn't it just return the value at the current index? It's like giving me the whole array. I mean, I guess at least we know the right stuff is in there. Okay, that's more like what I would expect to see. Okay. This kind of makes sense. Oh yeah, I should look at this in the debugger. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not set up how I want right now. Don't think I made a breakpoint. I think I might have an idea of how I need to change this. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? We have like an array that contains all of the x coordinates. No, it doesn't contain the x coordinates. It contains another array. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't think I know how to use multidimensional arrays for this. I'm sure it can be done, but I don't understand it right now. Currently I have my 16 entries on my array which I want to contain the x coordinates, but they actually contain another array which contains all of the y coordinates. How do I get my x and y coordinates in there? Do I need like an extra dimension to the array or something? I think I need a three-dimensional array, which would be like the cell number and then the x and y coordinate. Right? It would be like it'd be like let me just write it. So this I position would actually just contain like the cell number essentially. We don't want to put anything in there. This J position should contain the x coordinate. How do we do that? Because actually there would be 512 entries in this array then. One for every cell. Seems very odd. I guess it makes sense though. So this would be 512. But how do we do this with our for loops? What, we need an extra for loop? To go through all 512 thingamajigs? I don't know that I actually need to do that. Maybe I just need to like set this and then have another one. Like that. K is not a thing though. K is not a thing. Oh, it's like we gotta move over by one. Actually, I guess I do need an extra for loop. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I'm just creating more arrays within arrays. I don't want to do that. See, my go-to solution would be to create two arrays. One for the x coordinates and one for the y coordinates. That may not be very useful in the long run, though. It is better if we can say, like, cell 0 and get the x and the y coordinate. Every time you add a dimension to the array, you're just putting another array inside of it. All right. If I was to make it three-dimensional, there would just be arrays inside of the arrays inside of the array. That's not helping me. That's not what I want to do. This is why Brewer had that thing set up like that. That explains it. Right? Go back to how it was. Like that. Because that actually makes sense, I guess. Kind of. Does it? Does it though? Gotta take a look at it. Christ. Okay. Well, there's still only 16 entries there. And then another 16 within that. And then those contain an X and a Y, which is... Oh, actually seems to be updating correctly. but there are actually 512. That doesn't help me get the coordinates. So maybe I need like an extra for loop to contain these. For loops. Don't think that's gonna work. Don't think that's gonna work, is it? No, maybe it does. Maybe it does. So we just loop through once for every cell, and then we update the coordinates of each of those cells accordingly. That's the problem, though. No, it's not going to work. Really annoying thing is I have the data that I need. I just can't fucking store it correctly. Because I hate to say it, but arrays are fucking stupid. What's the point? Okay, there's got to be some purpose to a multi-dimensional array, but it's fucking useless at the moment. It's like you have to do this shit. That doesn't help me because I'm getting... Well, wait a minute. If I'm getting... Oh, maybe it's working now. Is it working now? Hold on. I need to look at the debugger again. Maybe it's working perfectly right now and I just didn't really understand it. Okay, so I have... No, because these just... Wait, no, that's fine. That might be fine, though. Is it? Well, there's 16 of those. Why is this one a... Oh, they're all structs. Okay. Yeah. So we do have 512 of something. There's 16 arrays within this array, each of which contains 16 structs. Uh-huh. So okay, so it's like level 0 is our X position. And level 1 is our Y position. But it's a struct, not an array. Right. But we can still reference it with the same index. So I feel like we kind of have what we need in a way. I think we kind of have what we need. I just need to extract it correctly. How do I do that? Back to GUI. Yeah, because I have a struct in here, right? So this would... How do I get the information out of that struct? I don't know. I think because I know the struct is contained in there, so I would do something like this, because this is retrieving a struct, and then this is retrieving the coordinate from within the struct, and we're looping through I and J, so we go like down the first column. Yeah, for every Y position. I mean, you only really need to update the X position here, right? I think that works. Maybe that's right. Geez, that took me a long time to figure out if that's it. Oh, that just crashes the game. Wait, local variable J not set before reading it. What are you talking about? Oh, shit. Wait. So it has to be inside there because it doesn't know what J is. So it's you know, not ideal, I suppose, but maybe that's just necessary to do it that way. Well, it didn't crash the game. Oh shit, there we go. But why is it we don't have enough cells? Why do we not have enough cells? That's only a very small portion of the map. Okay, at least we're drawing it now. It's not going to be good for my... Actually, it makes minimal difference to my frame rate, surprisingly, drawing this. So I think we also want to probably double the size. Let's do that first. Why not? We want to double the size of each of these, I would say. Nav grid create. But obviously I was way off on the quantity of these that we needed. But if I just do like 32, right, then we'll get bigger cells. And each cell will contain twice as many. Oh no, that didn't work. That just made it have spaces in between them. What the fuck? No, because this is for the coordinates. Well, that's fine. It's just the way that I'm drawing is like very primitive and it doesn't adapt. Right, that's right. It just doesn't. I'm used to having everything set up to like auto adapt to anything I throw at it. I have to manually update this. This is probably a better size to work with, just kind of. I don't know, just kind of like a gut feeling. That's probably a better size of grid to work with. Oh, and it actually does fully encapsulate the width of the map now, I think. Yeah, okay. But we need twice as many cells vertically. That makes sense, because they're half the height. So the number of cells vertically. The number of cells. So what do I just change this to a 32 then? I suppose so. Wait, that didn't seem to make any difference. Oh my god, this is so stupid. I need these. I need these values like stored somewhere so it updates them in multiple locations. We just weren't drawing them because we weren't looping through enough times. Okay, there we go. Now we have the full grid. That's the grid. Weirdly, it's like drawing it behind everything. Fair enough. But there it is. That's the grid. So each one of these will contain 512 nodes. How many cells do we have now? 16. We have 16 times 32 cells. We have 512. Okay, I was right about that. We're going to do 200. We're going to do we're going to do 1,024 nodes per cell? Is that right? How big are these cells now? 32. Okay, so we're going to do 1,024 nodes per cell. That seems good. Just, I don't know, just going on intuition. That seems like the right size. Okay, that's good. So we've made this. We've made the major grid, the outer grid, whatever you want to call it. Now we probably next thing to do is to populate it with nodes. How the fuck do I do that? Can I put an array inside of the struct? That seems like it would be a very practical way of doing it. I guess you can do that. Right? And then that would be one. So if we did like nodes, array create, and this would be 32, right? Because each cell is 32 by 32 now. We have a nodes array inside of each, inside of the struct for each cell. And then I want to populate the nodes array with nodes. Similarly, it's going to have to be a two-dimensional array, right? So we need to do something similar again. What is... Oh, I've definitely fucked up there. Can't be inside of this, can it? Or can it? Probably not. Yeah, and I'm basically doing the same thing, right? Because it's again, it's going to be the x coordinate is the array, and then the structs. Well, the second dimension of the array is the y coordinate. No. No. This confuses me quite a lot. The x and y coordinate are both stored inside the struct, but the first dimension of the array kind of represents the x coordinate, and the second dimension of the array kind of represents the y coordinate. Yeah, but then the x and y coordinate are actually stored inside of a struct inside of the second dimension of the array. So it's weird. It's weird. It's like this weird fusion of arrays and structs that I've never really experienced before. That's why it's so confusing. And this, so it's 32 by 32. Yeah, that's why it's rectangular, because it's 32 by 32. And then it's just like cell width multiplied by I, cell height multiplied by I, J. Would give us the top left corner, but not necessarily the actual position of the node. Plus cell width divided by 2. Don't think you actually need any brackets there, do you? But this isn't return value. This is nodes. But nodes is stored inside of there. So it's return value dot nodes, like that, maybe? So it sets the coordinates of the cell, creates an array for the cell, and then populates the array with nodes. We just need to visualize that so we can node for sure what's going on. I mean, we're in there now when we're doing this, right? So, Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking god, dude. We need 2 more for loops, right? No? Yes? No? Yes. K. What comes after K? IJK. IJKP? What's the pattern here? I don't know. IJK and so on. What the fuck does so on mean? Look, I know I can use any letter, okay, but what typically do people use after K? I don't know. I guess I'm going to use P. And it's 32 by 32, and we've got dot node dot x. Does that work? I'm looking up the. Kind of doesn't really make sense to look up the struct twice, does it? I just look up the struct once. I'm looking up the struct, and then I'm looking at the node array within the struct. Wait, that's not going to work. Is that going to work? No. Because it's going to be like KP. That's this just does not seem wholly correct. Is that really how you would write that? This is the node array, and we need to look at position K of the first dimension, position P of the second dimension, and then retrieve the X and Y from the struct found therein. And then I want to do like draw circle, if that's a thing. Draw circle. Is it going to start getting mad at me for reusing this X and Y at this point? We go through here, we use X and Y to draw this, and then we loop, then we start a whole new loop and use X and Y to draw this. Hopefully that's okay. The radius, I'm going to need to do a slight offset, like -2 if it has a radius of 4. Outline. No outline for now. What the hell is that gonna do? Is that even gonna work? Okay, it doesn't like that. There's something in the nav grid function. Out of range? What? Yo, why am I using I and J again? The fuck am I doing? We're in. Okay, it immediately crashes. Oh my god. Variable index out of range, something node. Line 18. Yes, I'm probably doing that completely wrong. So how do you do this? Maybe I should just look at the debugger first and make sure that's like, we'll just see what's happening there. Global nav grid now contains a bunch of arrays that contain a bunch of structs that contain an XY position and a nodes struct. Oh. What? That's not. That's. No. It's supposed to be a nodes array, right? Why have I wound up with a node struct? Nodes array create. Maybe I can't really create an array like this or something. You can see here I got a node struct instead of a nodes array. It did add the correct first values to it, but holy shit, they're actually incrementing correctly as well. But this whole thing, because this is fuck is this? This is like cell 00, which is supposed to contain a complete array of all of the nodes contained within that cell, not the coordinates of a single node. So maybe maybe I'm gonna like do this outside of here. Like like this maybe? What happens if I do that instead? Will I get an array? Is this resetting? Is that going to reset to 0 or not? Well, I guess we'll find out. I mean, I imagine it kind of must reset to 0 now. It's still a struct. Why is it a fucking struct? Just because it's inside of this, or well, I created it outside of that. Because this creates a struct. That's why. Is it? Oh wait, no. This still says IJ. Wait, that's what it's supposed to say. You know, this creates a struct. Okay. Something about the way this is written with the brackets makes this into a struct. Well, oh yeah. No, I see the problem. Kind of. So this is an array. This is. So we're looking at. What the fuck am I looking at? We're looking at this array, and then we're looking in the first dimension of the array into the second dimension of the array, which contains a struct which contains an array called nodes. And then I need to, oh, of course, yeah, then I need to do KP. And this just is insane. Like, I've never written anything like this, but I don't even know if that works. I mean, it kind of seems like that's how you would write it. We're in. It still just crashes the game when I press that. That's not what I want to do. I want to use the debugger at this stage. And what have I got now? I've got an array which contains a struct which contains an array which contains arrays which contains structs. Jesus Christ. That's actually what I want. It's just kind of blowing my mind. Okay, cool. So now it's just a matter of reading those arrays / structs correctly to draw the stuff. Because how do I read it? What was the error that I got last time? Maybe just replicate the error real quick. Out of range. So we're looping through, finding the coordinates within the struct for the current cell, and then we're using that information to draw a line, and then we're going to loop through the again, we're going to loop through the array to find the struct which contains the array, which contains the struct, which has the x coordinate. But it doesn't like this. Dot node. Well, it worked on the other end of things when we were adding stuff to the array. How was I doing it there? Return val ij nodes kp. It's very similar to what I'm doing. Global nav grid ij. That's the same as here. Nothing's changed because we're still inside this for loop. We're opening a new for loop with k 32 by 32. So I'm looking at this again. That should be fine. The problem is when we get here, it seems it doesn't like this. For some reason, why doesn't it like that? So navgrid 00 contains x and y and nodes array. Nodes 00 contains x, y. See, it seems fine. Seems like it should be fine. Oh. Why is that? Well, that's not good. The values in here are actually incorrect. What's up with that? Oh, I probably, yeah, okay. Maybe I missed something. Let's go look. Shit. Okay, there we go. Now we'll get the correct values. But that doesn't fix the problem of not being able to look this up. For some reason. Why can we not look this up? So I'm looking at the... did I say node and not nodes? That's outrageous. It's definitely nodes. God damn it. Okay. Just a typo. Let me remove that breakpoint. Okay then, that's a lot of lag. I think I'm drawing 64 billion circles or something. That is what I'm trying to do. I can't see any of them though. Where are they? Let me see if I can lag my way over to the... There we go. Oh shit. Okay, I'm obviously drawing a lot of circles there. Good lord. It seems way too many for a single... maybe not, I don't know, but yeah, something ain't right. We're getting a lot of lag, and it's only drawing them for one cell. Why is that? To draw them for every cell, right? Unless K and P never get reset, but they should, because we'll exit this for loop once we're done, and then re-enter it, which I guess would reset these to 0. Because I'm not modifying. Right, so I need to do... I need to set these based off of these positions, right? Also, I'm drawing way too many circles for this to be a viable strategy. Yes, we definitely can't do this, but it'll be good to see it. Okay, so also the circles were very big, but I do kind of need these to be separate variables. Maybe I'll just add an extra underscore or something, just to be exceedingly vague. Oh, so we're going to do... How does this help me? How does this help? I would just take the first x position and add this second value. Like that. Didn't update that. So I'm going to update that. Okay, this is insane. This is a lot of circles that we're drawing. But they should at least be in the right place now, I guess. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it looks about right. Yeah, it looks about right to me. I think I want to increase the alpha. Yeah, no, it is correct. I do believe it's correct. But I have 2 FPS. Oh, that's okay. All I needed to do was confirm that they were in the right place, really. Are we sure this is correct? Oh man, if I could see something that would confirm that, it would... Oh yeah, like that little rock over there. Yeah, that like takes up 1 tile basically. So yeah, these are in the correct place. We have the correct number of them per cell. So these are our nodes. Okay. I mean, I could draw a sprite instead of draw a circle, which is probably a lot faster. But I imagine it will probably still lag a lot. If we did something like we just draw the nodes for the cell that you're hovering over with the mouse or something, so we're not drawing them all, that would probably be pretty smart. We'd only be drawing 1,024 of them at once. Okay, I gained maybe half an FPS. So yeah, we definitely can't do this, can we? That is too many nodes. Alright, cool. Well, we did it. We made a grid and we populated it with nodes. That's pretty good going. Alright. So I'm assuming that the cells are also going to need a node. Like one node per cell at the very middle. You know what I mean? Or you could just, well, there's not really any reason to do that. You can just take the cell coordinates and then modify it to find the middle, right? And that would be the node. Okay. I guess that's probably how we'll wind up doing it. I don't know. But that's pretty good going for day one of refactoring pathfinding. I mean, we're not just refactoring pathfinding, I'm building a whole new pathfinding system of my own to avoid using GameMaker's pathfinding. So we can do it much faster. Because pathfinding is the major cause of the performance issues right now. That is number one priority, is to fix pathfinding. And then after that, fix the search algorithms. If we can do those two things, the game should perform pretty well. Because right now it's not doing too great. Okay. Okay. I think that's probably all I'm doing for today, though. I don't even know what the next step would be, so I probably need a bit of time to think about things. So yeah, let's find somebody to raid. It looks like Grog's live. He's on an ad break, but he is live. Brewer's live. Gee, who do we raid? Grog is making a JRP chat overlay. Grog is working on the chat overlay thing. Brewer's, I think I'm gonna raid Grog. Wait for him to get back off of this ad break, maybe. Oh my god. Freaking ads, man. Okay. Yeah, I could do with like a branch, I suppose. I guess if I branch, then I can keep committing my changes. First time actually using a branch. I don't really know how that works. I was kind of expecting it to look a bit different. Okay, I'm on a branch, so we can fuck shit up without worrying about it. I can always roll back, and I can then once we're done implementing this new pathfinding, I can merge it into the main branch. So that's all good. All right, so is Grog back from his break? Yeah. Okay, let's raid Grog. Thanks for watching. I'll be back to continue with this tomorrow. We'll get started on this crapola tomorrow. Peace out. Take it easy.